We're live. Oh man, we are live from Kellogg, Idaho, with Adam Mishna of Adam Does Dirt Bikes. You guys know Adam.
How's it going, guys?
How is everybody doing? I am literally just getting up. It is 6:30 in the morning here. We are at the Sticks and Stones Hardenduro.
We are. It is bright out, and parking lot started to get packed. People are rolling in. It's going to be a big one. There's going to be 500 people racing out here. This is a big race.
Yeah, this is like legit, and people have been asking me, like, why the hell are you doing this? And that is a great question for me. Not normally the hard enduro guy, but I'm stoked mainly because it's something completely out of my comfort zone. Hang on, I'm just looking at my. There we go. There's the chat. Dave Brayman, 5280 James, Roger Hurd, what's happening? Yeah, stepping out of my comfort zone, doing something new. I love writing stuff that's really hard and makes people suffer, but I don't know that it's this level. So this is the thing. Like I like the trail rides that are like really hard. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm probably gonna really suck, but I'm here with the resident. Like, what would we call you? I don't know. It's not like rags to riches. Like from no dirt biking to ultimate hard enduro guy. Adam, who started this whole odyssey. We've talked about this before, but we'll talk about it again. Give us the lowdown on how you began your motorcycling.
Oh gosh. So I started off 3 years ago. It was July of 2020 on a KDX 220, and I was riding for 8 months on that bike. I had no idea what that bike was, and then I found out that it was the bike to be riding on, and I decided to enter a hard enduro. I knew I wanted to race, and I thought, like, well, this would be something that I might have a chance at, because it seemed like it was kind of slow, methodical, and I'm not a really fast guy. So I tried Grinding Stone. I got my ass handed to me. I was dead last, and it was so challenging, and I felt like I was such a better rider after I raced my first hard enduro that I decided, you know what, I'm going to try another one of them. And I tried another one. It was a Rev Limiter out in Texas, and I also did really, really bad.
Yes.
And then I'm like, but I was a little bit better, and then I'm like, oh, I might as well do Iowa. And then Iowa was part of Rev Limiter was part of the East and West, so then I did Iowa. That was part of the East round, and I'm like, well, I did a couple East rounds, I did a couple West rounds, might as well try to do the whole series. So I ended up doing the whole series on a KDX 220, and by the end of it, I actually improved quite a bit, and I don't know, just super addicting. The people out here, the racers, the competitors, the spectators are incredible. It's just a really good vibe racing hard enduro, and I've been kind of hooked on it ever since. And this year, last year I did like maybe half of the series, and this year I am chasing the whole series again. So
East and West, right?
East and West, and yep, Morgan and I, we were out in Hawaii.
By the way, it's a ton of driving.
Well, yeah, so it's an incredible experience. But yeah, there's Silver Kings, and then after this it's Donner, and then TKO is kind of part of it. So yeah, there's 2 more races after Silver Kings, and then the hard enduro season, the U.S. hard enduro season is officially over. So
Gotcha. So, how is that thing with TKO? Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, why? Like, what's up? Why is it? I don't really understand the whole thing, but you're saying it's kind of part of it. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah. So as you go through the U.S. Hard Enduro Series, the top 10 people, they get invited into TKO. You get pre-qualified, and then you don't have to race the first race at TKO. You're pre-qualified for the second one, and then they kind of just keep taking the top 10 below that, like of each of the races. But it's not really like a points round yet, because we have the East Coast round and the West Coast round, and those are like the 2 different, I guess, like championships, East and West, and that's how you get your trophies from that. But the number plate, if I'm correct, I believe that the number plate is based off of the premier rounds. I was asking Matt Musgrove about this, but
Gotcha.
I'm still a little fuzzy on it, but the premier rounds there's some rounds from the east and from the west, and that's where I believe you get your number plate. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to pretty much split it for like, oh, there's an East Coast Championship, West Coast Championship. Each of those you could get number plates in. And then they're trying to get, I believe they're trying to get TKO to be part of that, but it isn't yet, is my understanding.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's something that's in the works. So
Right.
they're working on growing the series, and it is growing, and there are other hard enduros that are popping up. I know the Arkansas hard enduro was popped up last year. Then there's the Missouri one. There's I have some friends that are working on hard enduro out in New Hampshire. So there is potential for there to be big series on the East Coast and on the West Coast,
Nice.
and this sport is growing quick.
Yeah, it is nuts. Let's. I got a couple questions. First of all, rural delinquent James Narkill, Jesse Lycia, what's happening? Seat time's here. Woody, what is going down, man? Woody, you're gonna love some of what I brought. It's not for the show, but I do have the bike with the chainsaw here. I won't, sadly, although I did consider if it's not in the rules. I was wondering, can you ride with a chainsaw?
Well, you know, we were going to ask about
and then
that.
cut some of the
there's going to be a Q&A before the race or during the rider meeting. You know, I think you should ask about the chainsaw.
I'm totally going to ask about the chainsaw because, like, obviously I'm racing the newer bike, but I brought my other bike mainly as a spare. Also, just in case I have some time afterwards to do some riding, I might bring it. But yeah,
we'll get there, yeah.
Chainsaw is going to be good. So, Rocky Mountain Moto, real quick, Morgan, I'm looking to do a few score races next year. If you still run any of these races, can you share some info for first timers? Yeah, Rocky Mountain, I will, actually, because I'm actually, I don't know, I'm really hopeful that I might make it to the 1,000 this year. Like, it's not, oh my God, it'd be so good. If I can make it happen, it's going to be sweet. But yeah, absolutely. New Polaris album September, guys. If you can write, you at least need a video asking. Oh yeah, well I'll get the video of me asking if I can ride the bike. I'm gonna push it to the riders meeting because we're right down here with everything. I'm assuming it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push the bike with the chainsaw. I'm like, it's not in the rule book, right?
Could I ride with the chainsaw?
Yeah, like is it cool?
You definitely have to do it because we were joking around that about that yesterday. We're like, oh, okay, we'll ask some silly questions like, can we ride with the chainsaw? What kind of pre-workout do you use? You know, like
yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to do something completely different for me. I like going fast. Like to me, the whole reason that somebody in the way past put an engine between two wheels was to go fast. And so like this whole like, but in my experience of working on it recently, I've been doing a lot of practicing, and I've actually been having a lot of fun getting better at the like figuring that out. It's like a chess game. I was telling my buddy, it's like more like a chess game than it is a race. It's trying to like look at the terrain for a guy like me who's not fast at this, you know, not a pro where they're just trying to like get there. Like come up to an obstacle and be like, all right, take a second, read the terrain, and make a good decision on the line that hopefully gets around some people.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because the lines change drastically when you're out there racing compared to when you're practicing. Because when you're racing, you got to go around the people that are stuck.
Right.
And it becomes a challenge. And then the better you get, you start looking at different lines so you could actually, I guess, ride fast.
Right, yeah. Well, it's fast for the terrain.
It's definitely fast for the terrain, yeah. And then to be able to keep a pace and not burn yourself out is huge. It's
right.
It is a chess game.
Yeah, it's totally a chess game, and that's not what I'm the best at. Like I'm usually good at just like hammer and let it buff out, you know, but I'm excited because before this life, ugly things in the mountains, like big high stuff, ice climbing, whatever. So I've played the chess game It's just not on dirt bikes.
Mm.
So I'm super stoked. Adam, first of all, let's see. Have I heard about any problems with the fuel pumps on the newer YZ-FXs? David Barbercheck. No. We've replaced a few at the shop, but not a ton. Like, it's not been a massive thing. But it happened. Fuel pumps in general are a problem. That's why I'm like a little bit nervous about racing this new bike. It's got 100 hours on it, but it's got a fuel pump. It's got I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna go get hotter than I've ever gotten it before, and I'm gonna throw it down the ground more times than I've ever done, ever, and we'll see how it goes. But guys have been racing these new bikes, so and it seems like they're doing fine. Let's see, Rocky Mountain. Pre-run as much as you can. Roger Hurd said, yeah, Rocky Mountain. If you're gonna race score, if you can take time off and get down there early, pre-run. David Barbercheck, Takamoto does not make. I don't think he makes a pump for the YZs, just for the KTM's. As Adam got his race day nutrition figured out.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. All right. Well, so actually, let's give me a tip. What's going on? What are you doing for race day nutrition? Adam?
So what has been working for me?
Yeah. Everybody's different.
Everybody's
right?
different. Yeah. So I wake up at least 2.5 hours before the race. I like to eat a big bowl of rice. Lots of rice, some bananas. And yeah, so that's why I eat like the day of the race. The day before the race, I'll eat like a bunch of chicken, and some potatoes. But yeah, I try to eat as all that rice beforehand, and then that sits well with me. And then I've been mixing. I've been using Tailwind, and I've been mixing that into my pack, and I'll mix like 8 to 10 scoops and 3 liters of water. So that's 800 to 1,000 calories. And so then I'll be sipping on that throughout the race, and it's been working really well for me. So
nice. And I'm I'm new to hard enduro. I'm not new to endurance competitions. I've run marathons before. We do the Death March, so I am used to dealing with nutrition. So for me, I actually don't eat in the morning before a race. I probably will for this one because it's so much more intense and longer. I'm just fatter, so I have more on board. So like my body does really well when I like fast in the morning, right? So if I don't eat like normal races like hare scrambles, I don't eat anything, and actually I feel really good because my body taps into the fat energy, which I have plenty of, and I ride really well. This one's a little bit different, so I'm gonna eat in the morning. But then for me, I use Element for keeping cramps down because cramping is a big thing for me. I cramp really bad when I push really hard for a long way. I mean, bad.
Yeah.
So this stuff is awesome though. It's because there's no sugar, and it's just a bunch of electrolytes, salt, and helps me a lot.
Yeah, the electrolytes are key. I mean, you're sweating your butt off during these races, and before I was using any kind of mix, like I had times where I would cramp up. I remember grinding stone last year. It was like 2 hours in, and my hands were just cramped up. I could not move the clutch.
Yeah.
It was awful. And I still had another hour and a half of racing to go, or 2.5 hours of racing to go. Anyway, it's having something. I think it's very beneficial to have something to mix, and then in the water I'll even add a little bit of salt too, just to get that extra sodium so I don't get the brain fog.
Yeah, and potassium, absolutely. Coconut water is good. Anything like the other thing is, I'm drinking my coffee now, but after this, it's going to be a hard push for hydration. It's like starting today and just like hammer, and get myself super, super hydrated because I can just drink coffee and like hang out and feel just fine under normal. Like if I'm not under duress, which I will be tomorrow. So I'll just take it easy and like tons of hydration. And then for eating during the thing, I've got this stuff. I really like it. And Woody's going to love this one. It's called nut butter. No, but it's just fat. It's just nut fat stuff and tons of calories, high fat content, really good stuff. No extra, no sugar, no nothing. Anyway, that's gonna be my like during race nutrition, just to keep my level up as I'm, beating myself senseless
Yeah.
in my motorcycle.
Yeah, so you mentioned the nut butter. So like,
Yeah.
I go for the goo.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
So a goo packet every hour. That also helps as well.
Oh, what Tailwind flavor?
I like the flavorless, the naked. I've tried some other brands and I find that the naked Tailwind I can mix that really heavy and the taste is not overwhelming.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. We got Woody.
Setting me up, huh?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Keep talking. So, Adam, you've been here for how long up here?
Oh shoot! I got here yesterday.
Oh, just yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, I got here yesterday, but I was out in Montana, riding in Montana for, since Sunday.
Okay.
I don't remember Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I was out in Montana riding, and it's just epic out here.
Where in Montana?
Near the Butte area.
Oh, so not far.
Yeah, like 4 hours.
Yeah. So. So if you guys don't know, I guess we should be a little more informative. We are in Kellogg, Idaho, which is southeast of Coeur d'Alene, which is hard to believe because we are way north. It's hard to believe we're southeast of anything other than Canada. Like we are very, very far north right now.
Which I got a question. You pulled up 11 o'clock or so. Was it still kind of light out or was it dark?
Yeah, no, it was not. It was not light out by any means. Yeah. It was dark. But as I left Missoula at 9. No, it was just after 10, and I'm driving west out of Missoula, and the sun was still. It was still like the sunset.
Nice.
Which is awesome. Because yesterday was the longest day of the year.
It was the longest day of the year, and we are far up north, so...
Yeah, we are way up there.
It was a long day.
Yeah, I feel like it's like 54-40 fight up here. Yeah. It's way, way, way up there. So we're out of Butte. Who were you riding with?
Oh, gosh, I was riding with my good friends, Joe Nemeth and Mesa Lang.
Nice. Right on. Their home territory?
No, they're from Moab, but
okay, cool.
Last year they chased the whole series. Joe raced Romaniacs. He also did Sea to Sky. And yeah, he's really good. I love riding with them. I always pick up something when I go riding with them. They're just great people. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sick, man. That's super cool. Were you on like public trails or were you somewhere you can't talk about? Which is fine if you were.
Public trails.
Perfect. Right on. Nice. That's cool. No, that's awesome. That's rad. I love it. The having local, not even if they're not from there, I'm sure they obviously know the area and found whatever. That's cool. And then after this, how long is it till TKO?
Ooh, TKO, I believe it was
a little bit of a break because it's. Okay, I think maybe. Hang on. Are we live? We're live. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're back. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. You've been on the road. I mean, since Hawaii. I mean, you've been on the road a lot.
Yeah, I have. So it'd be nice to get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a break, regroup, and obviously you've raced TKO twice before.
Yes.
Two times. So are you excited?
I am.
Nice.
I am very excited. I don't know if I'm going to pre-qualify this year because last year and the year before that I pre-qualified because I was racing in the C class. This year because last year and the year before that I pre-qualified because I was racing in the C class and the top 3 overall from each class and the top 3 overall from each class also get pre-qualified, but I'm definitely... I have some work to do to be a top 3 overall in the B class, but I'm excited to race it. It's always a great time. Lots of people show up from the East Coast and the West Coast, and so you have your whole Hard Enduro family that shows up, and that's also a big race. 500 people, sells out, And yeah, you get some big names that come in. It's not part of the FIM round this year, but last year it was. So you had a lot of the Europeans showing
Yeah,
up.
nice.
But there's still going to be an awesome turnout, and it's gonna be a challenging one.
Oh yeah, for sure. That some of my friends are asking me like, you should come to TKO. I'm like, I don't really have a desire to spend time on those greasy Tennessee rocks.
Oh, it's
Like,
great.
is it?
It is. Like I like it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Well, but yeah, absolutely. I can
It's,
see.
it's a different kind of experience. Each race that you do, it becomes more and more challenging. You have the pro. Everybody goes through a prologue. All 500 racers go through the same prologue, and that's how they determine your starting order. And then you have the first race, and I believe they split it up. Like there's amateurs and then the pros, or they
Yeah.
do it by class, and then the top 250, I believe, advance to the second race, and then from there, I think they take like the top 120 or top 60, but it just keeps knocking out, and it gets exponentially harder.
Yeah.
Not progressively, exponentially, and then by the time you're doing the last race, it's a shorter course. But the spectating out there is incredible. It's very spectator friendly, especially as the races go on. So it's a cool race to spectate.
Yeah. The spectating looks. I'd love to actually just go and like, be there. I would really really enjoy that. I don't. Man, the super greasy. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm getting better at it. I know I'm getting better. I've got better gear. Running JX8 tires.
IRC tires, they are amazing. Rich Larson has been amazing. So he's we're both using JX8.
And what do you run for the front?
So I run the VX40.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm running. And I bet the reason I'm running those is partially because of Adam's recommendation on the JX8, and then also because Rich, because I just reached out and said, hey, I don't know what to run. I don't know what I'm doing. What's the best tires? So they sent me those. I'm going to be getting those guys to change my rear tire for me, put a freshie on, because they were supposed to send me 2 sets, one for testing and training, and then one for new, and they didn't get the second one to me. So, but it's actually going to be sweet because we're going to change it here, which is going to be fun. Like, whatever.
Yeah, IRC Tire has been, they've been going to all the rounds, and they have a surplus of tires for people to purchase. And they're just
they're an awesome company.
Awesome company.
Yeah.
Go-to tires for a lot of the racers is the JX8, and that thing hooks.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I have to eat my words about gummy tires because I'm not totally, because a very good rider could ride on a someone mentioned like a Sedona past me in this terrain because like they're just good riders, right? But holy crap, is that tire sticky?
Yeah,
it's dumb. Like
it makes a huge difference, and I had no idea what I was missing out on. I was running the VE33S, which is also an IRC tire, and that's like a medium intermediate gummy. Like it lasts a long time, and I didn't realize how big of a role the tires play. And then I switched over to the IRC tire, and this was on the KDX. I switched over to the IRC tire, and it was like I was on a different bike. It was unbelievable how much grip you get with a gummy. And there are other gummies out there, and having a gummy tire is critical for hard enduro, and it makes a huge difference.
It's nuts. Like one of the things I was trying to explain to people, like I've been out. I'm pretty good at a log in general, but like I've been trying to work on side ones and wet ones and just suspended ones. That's always been the thing that's in my head. Like the suspended log has always been like this thing in my head, which is hilarious because like I could jump over something equally as high, or up whatever, get over something that equally as high, no problem. But when it's like 6 inches, this big around, but it's like way off the ground, that freaks me out. So I've been practicing that stuff, and I was riding, and I was doing around, and I jumped this log, and normally I'm used to like wheelie, blip, hit the thing, and then the back tire goes and spins a little bit as I come over, right? Like no big deal. It's great. I hit this thing and I almost went over backwards because it went like, and then first of all I got way more drive off the wet ground, and then when I hit the log, the thing just stuck and like it was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the areas that you get grip with some of those gummies.
Yeah, it's nuts. Let's see here. We got Hoos Islander. I do want to come to Vancouver. I'm coming to Vancouver Island to see you, and I just love Vancouver Island. I got to get up there. That's gonna happen. Let's see. Oh, the VE33S is an awesome trail gummy. I agree. My problem with the VE33S, I ran it as a tire spinner in general. Like when I'm just trail riding, I love it. Yeah, making lots of noise and throwing dirt, and the knobs come off of that thing way fast.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah, terrible. Way more so because I've ridden the JX8 some in that kind of terrain, just like because like I got to ride trails to get out to the stuff I'm practicing on. So I haul ass. And it doesn't do it. It doesn't seem to rip the knobs off.
Yeah, well, lots of baby heads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby heads.
Yeah.
Not good to your tires.
No, especially if you're like you said. I don't have good clutch control. I just I just hope for the best. If you know you're gonna have a slick Roots Rocks, but need the tire to last a decent amount of miles, it's a great one. Right on. Oh, the VE33. For me it did not hold up. I took it to. If you guys have ever ridden the Black Hills of South Dakota, which I highly recommend, if you have not, it's amazing. Amazing Trail Network, whatever. That place is brutally hard on tires because the rocks in those hills are sharp and nasty. They will rip. I ran an IX09 there one time, and it was a cheater slick by the end of day 3. Like, there were literally no knobs. It was just a round tire. And, like 30 miles a day. I mean, it was less than 100 miles. The thing was worthless. Again, that's partially me, and then also just those rocks are nasty. So I ran the 33S there, and it was the same thing. Scott Coplin coming in from Dallas. Bruce Kennedy finally got up. Hanson, should you put an IRC gummy on for Colorado in July? For Taylor Park?
Depends what you're riding.
Yeah, I mean, if you want all the grip, then yeah, but Justin, I know you. You will probably smoke one, so maybe bring 2. I mean,
they grip, but then there's a caveat that they do not last as long.
Yeah.
There is that, but even when you start wearing them down, I mean, they aren't directional. So you do the flip halfway through, and you get some more life out of it, and. I don't know. I will run them bald if I am going out to Moab, but that's because you got all the rock and everything out there. But the VE33, I think, is an awesome tire, as Woody was saying, a trail riding tire. And I don't know.
And then and also I have to mention the V-Moto Force AT Apex compound. That might be one of the better trail gummies out there. And the reason, my problem with the VE33S, like I said, is I rip knobs off of it. It's not so much that the grip goes away, because the rubber is still grippy, right? It's like a climbing shoe. Climbing shoes don't have knobs on them. I mean, if you're on rock, you don't need knobs, right? You need more contact patch. But the reality is we're in dirt. We're on dirt bikes. And if you're transitioning back and forth between good soft dirt or mud or whatever, that knob rip, doesn't work out that well.
Yeah.
Where the V-Moto is cool, the thing I like about it is it's got the carcass, and the base tire is still the same relatively stiff intermediate terrain-ish tire, but they put a thin, sticky coat rubber on the outside of it.
I remember you showing me that tire.
Yeah, and it works really good because it still digs in the dirt. So if you're gonna ride some soft loamy stuff or some soft, really soft sandy whatever, it still digs and hooks and goes. But when you get in the rocks, it sticks.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's less expensive. So
I'd be curious to try.
Try one.
Tusk came out with a gummy too, right?
But that Woody says don't. He already pulled the comment, but he said don't run it.
Don't run it?
He says it's terrible.
Oh, is it? Oh,
you pulled the comment, Woody. You shouldn't have pulled it. We're all about honesty here.
I still want to try it though. See what it's all about.
Why not?
So how much does it cost?
It's probably $60, so you might as well.
So
I would run it in training.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't even consider it in race, for a race, for this kind of race.
Yeah.
And so I ran the Tusk Recon years ago, and I actually really liked it. Like in Taylor Park,
Mm.
I actually liked the tires. It's fine. It was fine. Like it was a fine rear tire. It had actually held up really well in like the side hill, like off camber stuff. It's one thing I don't like. I never liked the real gummy tires in the ones I had run. Now this JX8 is a different animal. I think sticks to everything, but like some of the other ones I had, they kind of like wanted to fall off of side hills. They didn't want to grip.
Yeah, and I think the reason why. Well, okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So the JX8, I know it has like some reinforcement on the sidewalls. Because I heard you said you've tried the IX09 as well, right?
Yeah.
So the IX09 is like that's the hard enduro tire. And it's really soft and everything, but the carcass is just so soft on the sidewalls that it kind of rolls over a little
Right.
bit. So the
Right.
JX8 has a little bit more stiffness on the sides and.
Yeah, and I like, and that's the thing. I need, like, for this, I'm all about. I'm stoked. I think I'm gonna start carrying some JX8s at the shop to sell for people who want to try this kind of riding and have that
Mhm.
super grip. But my warning to all of you is, first of all, they're not gonna last that long. Just get over that. Like, just.
Yeah, they don't last as long, but like I said, you do a flip on them, you get some more life out of it. And if you're practicing and training, I run them till they're to the ground, till they don't have knobs. And
Sure.
you'd be surprised at how much traction you could still get from a bald JX8.
Right. Yeah. No, and you run them down, and then just know that they're not probably like Justin. You're big. You coming out to Colorado for a week, right? Maybe it's not the best tire because by the end of it, the trip, it's probably going to be junk knob wise. You're going to have traction in the rocks, but if you're riding in any dirt, it's not going to be awesome. If you get because I don't care what you've got. If it's stickiest rubber on earth and you're in like mud,
Yeah,
I mean, you're whatever. So like, bring two, if
Yeah.
you can, or go with something like the V Moto, Force or something like that, or go with one of the many other IRC options.
Yeah,
out
and
there.
I also saw the Shinko 525.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned that, and I mean that's also an option.
Yeah, they're fine. They're great. See what's up, Rich Pierce, the Tusk Talon. Oh yeah, so I haven't used the Talon yet. But yeah, like Kenda Ibex is better for Hoosier Island. So I ran the Ibex, and
Some people swear by them.
some love them. I tore the knobs off of an Ibex in 60 miles up in Sargent's. Like I ruined that thing.
Yeah.
We were hammering. We were going really hard and fast up all the nasty trails, Horseshoe, and all the nastiness up there. And like it just did not do. This JX8 has been. Honestly, I've been impressed with how well the knobs are holding up. I'm like, as a guy who's like usually pretty skeptical, I don't know. It's a freaking amazing.
Yeah, it
It's
takes like
incredible
a
stuff.
certain type of terrain. Like the knobs don't really fall off for me. Whereas I believe I tried like the Shinko, the 525, and I remember the side knobs were kind of coming off when I was going on my normal training grounds. But yeah, the JX has been holding up for me, and it takes some like really crazy terrain for the knobs to come off. Like Shotgun Enduro out in Pennsylvania. That one was a little rougher, lots of baby heads, and yeah, you could see that it kind of took a little bit of a beating on the tire. But
Yeah.
I mean, I still keep all my race tires, and I'm just gonna do flips on them, and they are my practice tires. So wherever I'm riding, I'm gonna be riding the JX8.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is something to think about that my my friend Brady, who's sadly not here right now. I don't know. He's a wiener, but he used to tell people because we're not going to go deep into the whole pressure situation. Although I do want to talk a little bit about the moose balls that are drilled. So stay tuned here, guys. He used to tell people, put 18 pounds in your tires and go learn how to ride. Just force you to learn how to ride. So like, if you're practicing, practice on some hard freaking, I don't know, Dunlop moto tire.
I think there's some truth to that. Do that, and then also practice on a bigger bike, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And just like go out with your normal moto tire. I mean, that's what I was doing before I got the IRC in and on the bike, I was just out. I mean, I ride all the time. You guys know that. I spend a lot of time on the bike. But I started practicing more wheelie, more techie stuff, and just trying to like be more precise. Like I've ridden technical stuff my whole life. People hate riding with me because it's like, oh, it's too hard, whatever. But I've been more specific about it now, like trying to like be good about it, not just like bang through stuff. And I've been doing it on the normal tires, like the V-Moto, just the normal Force AT. It's not very grippy, like the normal Force. It's perfect dirt tire, and fine for rocks, like intermediate stuff. But it's not the best. It's not super sticky. But then when I put the JX8 on, it was like leveling up. It's like, boink! I'll take some talent. Thank you very much.
You got a turbo or extra boost. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts. So yeah, practice on crappy tires and then save your money. Buy the good tires for a race and use it.
But there's the tire, but then there's also what you put in the tire, which is critical for this because
dude.
Yeah, so the moose balls.
So moose balls. Okay, guys, I gotta say, I love moose balls. I don't like air. I don't like whatever. I like things that don't fail or can't fail. Right. That's my whole ethos in dirt biking. Things that if there's something out there that cannot fail, I want that. Like I like spring forks. I mean, the air forks were great, but I like spring forks because I guess a spring could break, but good lord, that would take. I'm not breaking a spring. Yeah, I'm not breaking a spring, but I like stuff that doesn't fail. So I'm a moose guy, and Nitro Moose has been my go-to for a long, long time. I really like them. Thank you, Jeff, for all the support. And actually, there's a new product coming out from Nitro Moose. I can't really talk exactly about it, but there's something coming out that's going to be really good. But the moose balls, guys, I'm telling you, they're freaking brilliant the way they work. And yes, you can do the whole like put less in, take more, put more in, get a stiffer. That's okay. It's pretty cool, and it's nice for little tuning, right? Like, so if you want just a little bit softer tire or a little bit firmer tire, that works well. If you want soft enough for this stuff, this hard enduro, like, the 6 PSI, equivalent thing, you can't take enough out. I mean, in my opinion, because when you take too many out, you end up with big open, like, holes in the tire, like, where there's nothing. And then you run a chance of it failing, right? Because if you have like a whole bunch of missing in one part, you can roll the bead right off the rim.
Which I have done out here.
Yeah.
So when I was racing last year, I was doing the prologue and I had the bead come off, and I was running a moose, and I think my moose may have been a little too soft.
Yeah.
But like having the right combination of moose or tire pressure with the tire.
Right, and then rim lock. Because if you're going to run super squishy...
Rim locks.
Right. If you're going to go super squishy, you need way more than one rim lock.
Yeah, definitely. Like hard enduro, everybody's running two. If you're not running two, you're...
Yeah, if you're not running two...
you haven't gotten the memo. But yeah, definitely 2 rim locks is a must. I know some people run 3 rim locks.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that Will Riordan and Tristan Hart run 3 rim locks.
Yeah. Johnny Walker, the whole beta crew runs 3 rim locks.
Yeah, and then I've heard of people running 4 rim locks as well. But
that seems like
I don't know. There's
excessive.
There's some people that like they run the 4 rim locks, but the way that you go about the tires, there's also, I don't know, that's kind of personal preference for some people. Some people think that there is such a thing as being too soft.
Oh, yeah.
And
100% for me.
And there is such a thing as too hard as well. So, to your point, though, getting something that doesn't fail is definitely very, very important. I know some people run a tubeless setup with a half moose in there just in case, like if something goes wrong with the tubeless. Lots of people run moose balls, lots of people run mooses, and they drill their bibs, or they'll run worn out bibs. I personally have been running the Lucioli tube for a year now, and I am very impressed with how that's holding up. It's a 7mm thick tube, and it has 2 rim locks intertwined into it. And what I love about that is I can adjust the pressure, and it's
Yeah.
really good.
If I was gonna run air, hands down, I'd be running Lucioles.
Yeah.
If I, you guys know my feelings about tubeless. I dislike tubeless, and that's funny because again, the guy who owns that company is the same guy who owns Nitro Moose, and he's a very good friend of mine. Jeff, if you watch this, I love you to death, but I hate that product. But
you use tubeless for the first time, and that's your last time. Huh?
Yeah,
that's what I've heard from several people, and
it's. Yeah. I don't know. Some people out there have great luck with it.
You know, but when you're running these gummies and the sidewalls,
you can't do that.
Like you get any kind of puncture in that sidewall, which it happens in hard enduro. The terrain is so rough, like you're.
Well, especially if you're running 5 psi, 4 psi, like you're running really low, right? That is like a recipe for tearing the crap out of a tire.
Yeah, so like having that half moose in there. It helps.
Sure.
I know that's a.
Or having a whole moose.
Or a whole moose. Yeah.
Just delete the tubeless.
Yeah.
And so I also want to say the drilled moose balls, because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for updates on that. It's amazing. I'm actually really excited to see what they look like when we pull them out today with IRC. Just slap a new tire on. I'm excited to see what that all looks like. But they're good. I think I would. In the future, I would get the next bigger size drill, and the reason is just we're testing, we're learning, right? Like I just asked Ben at First Strike Motorsports. By the way, Ben, thank you very much for everything. Go to firststrikemoto.com/Highlands Cycles. It's Highlands because he didn't know. Anyway, it's an S. Go there.
Ben is awesome. He has been helping me out with the foot pegs, which are incredible, and just a really cool dude. Like definitely check them out. And they are running. They have JX8s in stock too if you're interested in buying some. Yeah, and he's just rad. So, and they have a lot of cool stuff that's really, really cool. Lots of unique product.
Yeah, super unique product.
I know we're kind of sidetracked.
I know,
here, but they have all the unique product that you don't see in other places.
Right, like the S3 brake spring thing. I cannot stop talking about how freaking amazing that little thing is.
Tell me about that now.
Dude. It's a game changer, and it's hilarious. I cannot believe I haven't run something like this. So, it's all it is it removes the brake spring, the normal little coil spring for your brake pedal, your rear brake pedal. So, and you take that off, and this thing goes on the clevis that goes up into, or the push rod, whatever you want to call it on KTM. It goes over that. It's just a rubber. All it is a rubber block that's made to fit perfectly, and it's the spring. But it makes it really stiff. First of all, it takes all the slack out. No slack. So it's immediate. Like when you put your foot on it, you feel it, and it makes it take a lot more pressure to push the brake. But it's real consistent, so you can feel the freaking brake with your foot.
Oh, I like that.
Through your stiff moto boots.
Got it,
dude. It is the cool. Like of all that $20,000 dirt bike I own, I mean, arguably, I'm added it all up. That's like a $20K bike that I'm riding. Thank you, YouTube people, for watching all my videos and making that happen. If it wasn't for you guys watching this stuff, my sponsors wouldn't give me all that cool stuff. I seriously, no joke. I think that little thing might be my favorite thing on there.
Really? a little piece of polymer.
A little piece of polymer might be my the thing that. Other than the suspension's incredible, honestly, that's one of the big ones. The RK Tech head is huge for especially up here in this really nasty stuff. You can lug really low, but I'm telling you, that dumb little brake thing for $30, or 30 whatever you anyway, it's the coolest. You gotta get one. I'll get you.
Okay, I'm curious. I want to try it. Like the foot pegs for me though have been a game changer. Like that was something that I noticed right away was when he sent me those foot pegs. And they're like down and back, but they're also
they're sick.
Oh, Carapax.
Yeah, Carapax foot pegs, and they're not tearing my boots up that bad.
They aren't. Like people were saying, oh well, good luck, your boots are gonna get torn up. But you know, my boots have been holding up. My boots have been getting worn at the ankles, not at the soles, and those pegs are incredible, especially in the mud. Yeah. Incredible. Ohio was one of the muddiest races I've ever done. They get packed with mud, and I still have grip.
Yeah.
I love them. Absolutely love them.
The foot pegs are incredible, and they're not the Thai Raptor $350 ones. I mean, the Thai ones are cool too, right?
They're awesome pegs, and stainless, and
Yeah,
They're great. They take a beating,
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
they don't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
I really like them. And then I don't know if that tooth design is a little too aggressive for you. The Fastway pegs seem like they'd be legit too. They're also
Fastway's-
stainless, and
yeah.
they have the
guys,
set
yep.
screws, and they also do a down and back. But
Yeah.
yeah, moose balls. I know
So,
we're
yeah,
getting
back-
off track.
The drilled moose balls are awesome, guys. I'm telling you.
So the drilled moose balls, how do you drill them?
So yeah, I drill them. That's the cool thing. So here's again. I talked about before how if you don't put enough in, you get this voids and whatever, right? Okay. And I think moose balls, Mr. Wolf would probably say that doesn't happen, but they're lying. It does happen. Anyway, they're just. It's an amazing product. They're doing their best to sell it. That is not the best. That is not true. If you don't put enough in there, you will end up with holes. So I like a tire to be full and relatively stiff. Like I want traction, but I like to go fast, right? So when I turn a corner and go on that tire, I don't want it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And even in a hard enduro, I mean, I was watching videos of this race. There's some fast sections like on cat tracks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can slow down and blah, 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 but hopefully I can get a break in those sections for me and still go fast, and I want the tire to hold up. So with a normal moose, since it's a one huge thing, you have to drill it. You have to come in from the side or from the inside, whatever, so you can like do things. And that's fine. It works great. With the moose balls, I can go in them like this, like around the thing, if you could take a core out of a moose, right? So it's cool because it still holds up this way. It's like this, but it's squishy. And it's been brilliant. And I don't know, like, some people are like, well, they're going to move around in there, and they might. So we're going to find out today when I get those guys to yank that tire off, and we're just going to find out what it looks like because I have no idea. Like, maybe they are rolling around in there and the direction doesn't matter, but the way I see it, it seems like it would. And real quick, Tom Bean, where do you order those S3 brake? It's a brake spring. Go to firsttrackmoto.com/Highlands Cycles. HIGHLANDS That'll get you to our affiliate page, which will get you money savings. And then you can use our code, and it's free shipping. And I just have to say it, massive thanks to S3 because our custom gear now is on the site and ready to be ordered. So you can get your name, your number, and it's got Highland Cycle stuff all over it. It's super rad. I will be doing a whole video on that later. Let's see. Roger, sound breaking up. It's probably because of internet. Let's see. What is the brake pedal bushing? I don't know what it's called. It's if you go to that First Track Moto /Highland Cycles, it's on that. Like it's in the landing page. It's rad. Garrett Anderson, your Leatt boots might not survive those foot pegs. I agree, because Leatt freaking boot soles suck. I'm so sorry, Leatt.
What kind of boots do you run?
Well, I've got the super Gucci Garnet SG22s.
Oh.
Yeah, super Gooch.
Yeah.
But they are. By the way, quick SG22 update. Stupid, dumb, amazing, but like whatever.
Yeah.
They've changed my life.
Nice.
I'm not joking. Like my knee generally hurts after a long day of riding.
Mm-hmm.
My knee pain is gone
From the boots.
from the boots.
That's crazy.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's holding my leg in a better position or something. I don't know. But like my knee pain, it's weird. And they're so dumb expensive.
Yeah.
They're crazy, but
I'm a Tech 7 guy.
Oh yeah. Hey, those are great boots.
Yeah, I really love them. And then every now and then you find them on sale.
Yeah.
So I picked up a couple pairs for $260 a pair. I'm like,
Nice.
these will last me.
Dude, my kid wears Tech 7s. I love them. I love Tech 7. I got no problem with Alpenstars. I love Alpenstars.
I know, like so out in Colorado, there's in Denver area we have Performance Cycle, and Performance Cycle is amazing. If you're ever in Colorado and you want to check out an awesome motorcycle shop, Performance Cycle has everything. So I've tried all the boots on, and the Tech 7s, they just fit me so well. It's like, I just know 11. That's what I need.
Tech 7s are great. I wore Tech 8s forever. Like, do they even make the Tech 8 anymore?
I don't know. The Tech 10s.
The Tech 10, because I personally am not a big fan of the molded sole. not because of not holding up or anything like that. I like the welt on the boot because I actually catch my shifter with it a lot, like on purpose. Like when I'm shifting up, that little welt will catch the shifter and still shift for me in times where I can't get my foot underneath it or whatever. So I don't know. That's just a personal preference. It has nothing to do with like good or bad. It's just me. But the SG22s, they're epic. They're stupid expensive. I mean, are they worth $730? I don't know.
Oh, that's 3 pairs of boots for me.
I know. But I can say they are freaking brilliant. If you can afford them, like, do it. Like, you will. Well, if they fit your feet.
Yeah, that also depends. Like, I don't know. I've tried some CDs and they were my size, and they just really hurt my feet. I couldn't. I could have gotten them for free. I'm like, no, they hurt.
I can't put my feet in CDs. Like my feet are too wide, and it's funny because people are like, oh, this CD, that CD is. I'm like, dude, I've tried every CD I could find. Maybe not every one that's out there. I can't get my feet in them.
It's gotta fit.
My feet don't fit in CDs.
Yeah.
And it's not. I love them. I wish I could wear them.
And you know, helmets are the same way too.
Yep.
Like,
a good fitting helmet is better than an expensive helmet. Like that doesn't fit.
yes, I agree.
Because and that's not just because of your comfort. That's your safety.
It is.
Like that is safety because there's a lot of science behind that. But if there's voids in your helmet, like where your head's not touching the helmet, that is dangerous for your brain. Dr. Roger heard about that. Buy the best helmet you can afford that fits your head the best. Like, please. Let's see, we got some more questions here. Do you think the new boots are lighter, so you're moving around, lighter foot? Well, I don't know. They're just under 10 pounds. I weighed them. I don't know.
Dry or what?
Is
that dry or what?
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wet weight or dry weight. Sorry, that was awesome. So I don't know. They feel like, let me say, they feel lighter on my feet. I need to weigh by the way, my SG12s are coming back from MX Boot Repair or MX Boot Resole. I wish I had a, that dude's rad. Have you ever had a boot resole from that guy?
No.
Super cool dude. He's in California. You fire the boots off. He calls you. He's like, hey, I got your boots. This is what I want to do. Okay, great. Gets them done. Charges you, ships them back. Mine are on the way back. I'll get them back when I get back. I'm excited about that. Let's see. CD is the best boot out there for skinny foot folks. Yes. Here you go. Adam, do you prefer smooth soles or soles with tread?
I've tried both, and I try to keep my feet on the pegs. So.
Yes! That is the right answer! Yes! Adam said the right thing. Sandy, I love you. I think you asked me that question. You're talking about the Enduro sole and all this stuff. It's like, man, keep your feet on the pegs.
Yeah, I had the dry fit Enduro sole from Alpine Star, and I don't know, like, I don't notice that big of a difference. Like, for me, it's keeping my feet on the pegs, and when I was in Hawaii, though, I did actually put studs in my boots, and that seemed to help. I mean, you can stud up any boot.
Yeah, and that's a different game.
Yeah.
That is a slipperiness that doesn't exist.
And I don't know. I was out in Ohio, and I didn't run the studs. But it's feet on the pegs.
Yeah, feet on the pegs. No moto. I mean, you don't want to hike in any moto boot. I don't care what. I don't care what sole it's got. It's like you want to go walking around in them, and if it's really slippery, I don't think the Enduro sole is going to help that much.
I don't think it would. Like that mud is just going to pack in there.
Yeah. It's not like a gummy tire. Let's see. It's at SG20. Oh, 5280 James, you got SG22s. Nice work, dude. Fishing right down the road. Oh, dude, Krusty. I brought my fly rods, all of them, and so will be, by the way, fly fishing after this. Hey, Woody, we'll talk to you soon, man. Have a good one. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's question. So we'll take one more question. We're going to shut this thing down. One more question for Adam. You guys don't want to hear from me. You hear from me all the time. So I'm watching here. Let's see, Adam, how's the bike working?
Oh gosh, I love the bike.
Yes.
I love the bike. It's at first I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about this whole thing. So the reason why I was sure, I'm running a 2010 XC, and it was an XC250. It has the 300 conversion on it, but the gearing on the XC compared to the XCW is just completely different.
Yeah,
And I was used to the 300 XCW, and yeah, I'm shifting through these gears, and they're just so close together, and we had to gear this thing down like 1252, and even then it wasn't geared. The first gear wasn't similar to the
No.
XCW. Like the XCW is so low, but I started getting used to it, and that with the suspension is just incredible. I'm in love with that bike. I really like that bike, and so yeah, the past few days I was out training on the XCW so that I could keep the XC fresh and mint.
Nice.
And it took me, I'm like trying to get used to that bike now.
Yeah.
That first gear is so low,
It's
and then
so
I go
low.
to second, and second is a little too high.
Yeah.
So it's
That's the problem with the W. That
Yeah.
is the problem with the W.
yeah, but with that XC having only 5 gears, like
No, does that one only have 5?
I only have 5, so
Oh, so it's the older
that's
one, yeah.
that's where it gets me. I wish I had that 6th gear,
Yeah.
but that bike is just awesome. And so yeah, I'm running a 13-year-old bike,
Yeah.
and the thing is just incredible. I really love it, and yeah, so you could get an older bike for a fraction of the cost,
Yeah.
and if you, I
It's
mean,
a
you're gonna
work
put
on it.
money into it
Yeah,
anyway.
you're saving money into it. It's an expensive sport.
Yeah, like I mean.
We're not
Definitely-
knitting here.
Definitely get some radiator guards, and yeah, you bulletproof that thing up,
Yeah.
and I mean, you could spend a lot less money riding an older bike, still have fun, and it could be completely capable.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
100%. And yeah, and like I don't know, this kind of racing, I feel like the newness and whatever, like the high end technology is less important here to me than like going fast. Because the fast, when you're like hauling ass across something and giant hits come and all this stuff, it seems like that's when you want the fancy of the fancy. This is like so much more the rider. I feel like
it's crazy. It's unbelievable how much it is the rider. Like I believe it was 3 years ago, Jordan Ashburn.
Yeah.
Jordan Ashburn, like that tells
Yeah.
you right there. He was racing a pretty much stock KDX 220 at TKO,
Yeah.
and he got
Was he 10th?
10th or 11th.
Yeah,
he was up there.
ridiculous.
He was up there. He got to to the final round on a KDX 220, like a 20-some-year-old bike,
Yeah.
and I mean, he just had like a pipe on there and some tires. Like,
Yeah.
unbelievable,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
That's the cool thing about this sport. It's what I like about off-road racing in general, not moto, is that you don't have to have the newest equipment. Like you do not have to have the newest equipment to be competitive. You go to a supercross, motocross race. Sorry, once you get to the upper levels, like once you get to the like high end, you got to spend serious money.
Yeah.
Dumb money.
Yeah,
on a
for
bike.
sure, because then it comes down to the seconds. Out here, like, it could be...
Hours.
it literally could be. It could be hours, hour gaps, but yeah, 20-minute gaps between riders, 30-minute gaps between riders.
Right.
It's unbelievable, especially as you're progressing, like, in the different levels, like, how the talent... the pros, the top pros, there might be like 5 guys that... 3 guys that are battling with a couple guys under there. Like it's just unbelievable how crazy the competition is.
And it's cool. I love the fact that the start doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, at the pro level, you go down. It doesn't. But like for instance, Graham Jarvis is a perfect example at like this year's Erzberg and every other Erzberg. He never gets a good start. Like that guy never starts on the front row. Maybe he did years ago, but he's been starting in the second row for a long time. Everybody acts like this last one was like this big deal. He started on the second row and he moved way up. I think he's done that most of his races because he's not fast in that prologue thing, but he's got so much freaking talent.
Oh, you make up for it with technique. Plays a huge role as well as the endurance, but the tire placement. I mean, you kind of touched on that a little bit, and tire placement is huge in these races. Huge, if you're trying to like go up something and your tire could be off 2 inches, 2 inches or even an inch,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and that could be enough for your back end to slide out, and then you won't make it up the obstacle. And so yeah, try if you have trials experience, which he has lots of trials experience. You have experience with tire placement, and you're able to get up obstacles the first try, and then you don't waste your energy. And energy conservation is so big in this sport.
Yeah. Oh, and Jimmy, yeah, Bolt fell on the first like little uphill and was, I mean, bad, huge crash, and then got second. Well, I was leading for a long time until Manny just, finally
Yeah.
beat him. But like, I love that about this sport is it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have all the horsepower, all the whatever.
Yeah.
Or, you just have to be good.
It's yeah, for sure. And the pros they see the lines that the amateurs don't, and they're
Yeah.
confident and can take those lines. And there's been a couple races where even Cody, like he in Texas, I think he had something happen on his bike, and he pretty much had to start last, and
Yeah.
then he went and passed everybody, and I believe he made it to the podium. And
Yeah.
it's
incredible.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And so the question is, how badly is Adam going to beat Morgan? So here's the thing: we are racing two different classes. So I wanted to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's quick rundown on how the Silver Kings race is going to work. This is not like the Hawaii race. This is not like some of the other races. You enter a class based on. I entered 40 expert. You're in just open B.
Yes.
Open amateur. And the way they do that here is it looks like they take the expert levels, like so all the A riders, and I just entered based on what I race everywhere else. And we are racing the silver like the silver course, right?
Mm.
And there's a gold, silver, bronze, I think maybe even an iron. Is there an iron?
There is.
Right.
It's like a bronze with some iron splits.
Okay.
So
So those are the courses, and the way they're doing it here is that the bronze, we're all have a prologue tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and that determines starting position.
Yes.
And then the bronze, their race is tomorrow in the afternoon. It's like a 4-hour cutoff.
It is a 4-hour race.
Four-
We are doing as many laps as we can in 4 hours.
Okay. And then the top 30 from that will get to move to the silver, race the silver class. And so I'm hoping I get to see Adam on Saturday.
Yes, my goal is to get the top 30, and I think.
And then beat the crap out of me, which is probably going to happen.
We'll see how it goes. I'm going to be worn out.
Yeah,
for sure,
the problem is he's going to be tired.
Yeah, but I'm very, very excited about this because the past couple years the course has not been challenging for if you were in C class or B class. So this year I'm excited to hear that they are taking the top 30 from the bronze. It's still I'm gonna have to push and do my best because it's gonna be the 45 and up class and the B class that I will be up against.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna have to be top 30 there in order to get into Saturday's race, and then if I do make that, then I would be racing the same course as you. So that is the goal.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel good about Adam making it. It would be awesome, and then he can beat the crap out of me, which would be good. Keep that, Jimmy. You can keep that hard enduro shite. Cheer from the sidelines. Right on, dude. We'll see. I might be feeling the exact same way come Saturday afternoon, but I don't know. I'm excited. I like things that are hard. I like things that are. It's a war of attrition, right? Like. It's like you just got to keep moving, and I am not going to. It's my biggest thing is to not get into a sprint at the beginning, because that's how you have to race hare scrambles. Is you sprint.
I've been hearing that there's different techniques here because like if you sprint at the beginning and you could get in front of people and in front of the bottlenecks and then conserve your energy.
Yeah,
that's a way to do it. But then I also hear like you want to conserve your energy throughout. So
right.
Well,
so I think if you can sprint, and so I have a little, I have sprint in me from racing hare scrambles, and so I mean, kind of my race idea is in the easy stuff is to sprint like hell, like. If I know if it's all good and it's like well within my ability, I'm gonna push because that doesn't take too much effort. Like like if it's smooth, whatever. And I see a lot of guys, they watch the videos who are like conserving even on like the fire road, like the cat. I'm like,
See, it's kind of hard to tell, like where to conserve and where to not conserve. Like if you've walked the course, which it's hard to walk the course out here. It's
it's
all
huge.
over the mountain, vertical, up and down. This terrain, it's expansive.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so knowing where to conserve and where not to conserve, it
Yeah.
kind of it's hard. Like hopefully they're gonna pop up a race preview so we get an idea. But in previous years, like it's been a bit of an enduro cross course, and then you're going up the mountain, and it pays off to get up there as fast as you can, because then you
Yeah.
have a bunch of single track where you can't really pass.
Right.
So it's there are logistics to figuring out, like where do you push and where do you conserve energy, and
Yeah.
yeah,
We're gonna find. I'm gonna find
you're
out.
gonna learn a lot.
I'm
this
gonna learn a
weekend.
lot this weekend. My brain is going to expand, and I'm excited to do that. And like I said, I feel like hopefully I've got some advantage in the fast stuff. Like I can push hard without wearing myself out.
Definitely,
I
think
can
you do.
push there,
Mhm.
and it won't wear me out. Like because I can push for 2 hours, decent if I'm in decent shape right now. So I should be good there. We're also at a lower elevation than normally. Like if you guys were here, look out there. You think we're at 10,000 feet, but we're not. We're like
No.
5,000 feet or something.
So the race is going to be between 4,000 and 6,000.
Yeah, so it's like super low. It's like Montrose. I'm excited about that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. My goal is to not get into a race in the kind of like moderate hard stuff. Like that, my goal is to just conserve there and not make the mistakes that cause like a tip over that then you got to pick it up or spin back around.
Gosh, that's the worst thing you could do is drop your bike and then
Yeah.
have to lift it up. You use so much energy, and yeah, it's when you get to that stuff, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to like see where people are having success.
Right.
Because the line that works, it might look like it's hard, but
Yeah.
or you find something that you are confident in, and you could knock it out. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Garrett Anderson balls out all the way. That will not be. I don't know. We'll see. And then Garrett Anderson, will Morgan catch the bug? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've been really having fun practicing and working on technique. It's been a lot of fun, and I now have a place I can do that at my house, which is super cool. So that's awesome. I also have a kid who's way into trying it. Like Ewan wants to do hard enduro. He wants to come to this race next year, and so I mean that'd be awesome. I'll get into that with him, and we'll see. But I also, like I said, I want to go back to the 1,000. I want to go 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to for hours. Like so, whatever. It's cool. It's a super cool discipline that I'm not used to, and I'm excited to see Adam kick my butt if he makes it into the
We'll see.
thing. But I told Adam earlier, the other thing is I'm a little bit meaner than I think a lot of these people. These are very nice people here. Adam's very nice. Everybody's nice. I'm a pretty nice guy, but like when I put a helmet on, I'm not that nice. I will knock my mother down.
You see, this is where it's gonna be like you'll be the guy that'll like try to pass everybody, dude. You'll squid your bike up there or whatever,
Yeah.
Like people notice these things,
Oh,
I mean, if you don't help somebody, people won't help you.
Oh, yeah.
So there's trail karma,
Yeah.
race karma.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm generally a pretty nice human, but man, when I go racing, because in hair scrum and stuff like that, man, I don't like. I'll leave my kid on the ground as long as he's moving and not dead. Like I'm out of there, man. So we'll see. But my buddy Mike Barnado, who sadly is not chiming in, probably because he's up here and doesn't have his phone on.
I actually met him yesterday.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
right on. Mikey and I'm talking. He's got a Kickstarter. He's like, he'll be the only Kickstart.
He's on a YZ.
Yeah, he'll be the only Kickstart Kenny out here. Which, dude, people. I wish I had a Kickstart backup. I really do, but no part of me wants to kickstart a bike.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal at the hard enduros.
I just wanna. I'm so happy to have a button that's working. So yeah, Mikey's gonna be on that. We might have to team up. The two Colorado boys team up and see, because he's racing the expert. He's the one who talked me in it, because I was gonna race. I was thinking about 45 amateur.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I should just do that because I've never done this. And he's like, come on, man, race the expert. Like,
I think you were in the right class.
so, well, we'll see. I mean, I'm happy I'm in the right. I'm in the right class because I want to see the nastiness.
Yeah,
You know?
it's. I think you were in the right class. It's going to challenge you.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be good.
I'm excited to like get into the nastiness, see what's going on, see the whole thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to only race Friday and maybe not make it, and like, because if this is my only hard enduro I ever do, I would at least want to see some of the really hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't get to see the gold. I don't want any part of that. I want no part of the gold course. But I want to see what they.
Thank you.
Awesome to see. Saw each other just a little bit ago, and yeah, we're gonna end it here. I gotta find out how to end this thing. I don't even know how to do it.
Later, guys.
Yeah. Peace out. We'll see you guys soon.